Okay, what you're going to pay attention to, in addition to flying over my office, it's the maintenance of the specific environment. So the light source is no longer in front of building 1806 as I stood facing my bedroom window, and you saw that light activity, which has nothing to do with the sun or the light source, okay? And I mean that. It has nothing to do with the light source. You see the engineered light appearing on ceilings and multiple walls, reaching under bedrooms, reaching underneath my bed and whatnot, even when the light source is not the highly unrealistic and under all circumstances equally impossible. But the illusion is that it's supposed to be that's the sun and that sunlight. That doesn't work when the entity is doing so, and the engineered light is on the ceiling and the sun is above the building and it's outside of the opposite end of the apartment, for example. The light source is moving. So again, when I'm at my bedroom window as I stepped outside of building 1806, okay, the light source was over there, over me, which is not over at the same time of year, daylight savings time exactly, in its zenith over the Paul Bine Library in Rancho Cucamonga. And you are also looking at the pattern, which is with regard to the specific environment, stalking with engineered light in my bedroom, as you see it, stalking with the light source, moving as I move at the same property. Remember, I'm standing at this same property at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's just feet away from being right here and being over here. It's feet away, okay? The entity is maintaining a light source at all hours of the day. But while the entity is still keeping this light source, but I just want you to see where it's moving from there, and it remains directly over me. Here it is here, okay? Moving literally in real time. As I'm at my leasing office door, it's right here. So you're looking at what is real-time movement. It's never going to be the sun. Through the windows of the leasing office at 8:47 in the morning, through the windows of the through the windows of the laundry room at 8:47 in the morning. This is already documented. The entity is maintaining engineered light. So I want you to look at the engineered light that's on the wall in there. You can see that. And I'm able to create what is light. That's my shadow appearing on the wall inside of there. That's impossible light activity. Okay, my shadow is shooting across upright on the wall. That's engineered light. The shape of this rectangular window is appearing on that wall in there. That's for purposes of monitoring. That's impossible light. That's the light you see on my ceiling. That's where LAPD is flying over my office. Okay, that's the pattern of conduct. That's the criminal engagement and surveillance. You've got demons that just go to the laundry room, making a whole bunch of noise, slamming the machines while those demons are knowing what I'm doing inside of my office, while the demons of LAPD fly over and around my office, while the entity is keeping a light source all day long over me at the same property, rising and setting it. None of this is present at the Paul Bine Library, which is where I remained on June 23rd, 2022, after leaving state facilitating venue, the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court. Okay, that's P.O.C. That's Luis Ramos. He's going to federal prison. He's a psychopath. He's stalking someone and outwardly conducting themselves as though they're doing something else. There's no persuasive form that you're clearly just a stalker and a demon possessed one, while the entity is engaged in what is stalking in a perceptible manner 18 plus times today. And it is currently 3:37 p.m. Just wanted to show you the maintenance of the light source at the same address, in addition to what is movement as I move on the property where it's at the same property. 9 a.m. in the afternoon on April 29, 2024, a universal waste at this parking lot, driving by, engineer light moving all across building 1818. That's 9 o'clock in the morning. That's 10, 11, 12, 1 to 6 hours ago. And I'm standing at the same location. Remember, I'm standing here. I'm facing his vehicle. The light source is behind me. Behind me is right here. Okay? This is the same exact pattern of conduct. It's the same exact scientific impossibility, regardless of the fact that the entity kept the light source covered up until 11:52. When you see the light source, though, where do you see it? You see it right above my head. Under no circumstances is it ever the sun. You're looking at the light source that's remaining over the Paul Bine Library. So you're understanding what's not the sun at the courthouse. That's not the sun possibly at the Paul Bine Library as it remained over me, including on public transportation en route to that library. And this is the light source that's here. And these are demons that are crossing path. Okay, engaging and coming onto the property. That's the pattern of conduct. It is currently 3:38 p.m. Those are the demons of the Los Angeles Police Department engaging what is aiding in the criminal facilitation, aiding in the federal prosecution in the specific environment. And this is more. This is the light you see on my ceiling inside of my bedroom. Has nothing to do with sunlight. Okay, this is engineered light that you see on the opposite side of this laundry room wall. My shadow upright at a distance while I'm looking through the window, and the sun is above, shooting a downward trajectory of light, not coming onto downward at a downward trajectory and then horizontally shooting through glass and creating that light on the walls and creating your shadow up. That's not sunlight. This is the engineered light. Okay, the LAPD are a demon-possessed agency, and they're engaged in the state's pattern of conduct, and that's also why you see the Ontario Police Department group stalking at the entrance of 215 East C Street, the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, at the same exact time. 10:29 a.m. is the video that I uploaded for you to witness with your own eyes. All of that is mutually exclusive to the sun ever being present at any time of day, let alone documented maintenance. At 9 o'clock in the morning on April 29, 2024, the light source was still here over me at 10:29 in the morning, which I've also documented. The entity is keeping the light source here as a matter of evidence from 6:45 in the morning in alignment to me and setting in alignment to me at approximately 6:45 in the evening, replete with what is engineer light, like you see inside of this office, like you see inside of this laundry room, like you saw inside of my bedroom on my ceiling for the duration of the day. That is the criminal system that Lisa Rogan was engaging in while engineer light filled that courthouse, as I documented regarding the fictitious prosecution. She's going to federal prison. This is the same entity that is group stalking to date in 2024. And her act of kidnapping, her act of obstruction of justice, her act of criminal defamation is going to result in her prolonged term in federal prison. All right, I want to be clear. The entity engages in this to kidnap you, to silence you permanently, while they are engaged in what you're looking at, ongoing obsessive stalking, illustrated by flying over my office 18 times today in helicopter, which the demon-possessed agencies in the state of California are engaging in. That's why I captured the Ontario Police Department doing it for years also, while the entity was rising and setting a light source, not the sun, over me in an entirely different region. Also, never going to be captured over Alvarado Gardens. Okay, that's the pattern of 3:40 p.m. Luis Ramos is going to federal prison. Samuel Rickman's going to federal prison. You're looking at them crossing paths. They're demons. This is a whole demon-possessed entity that's living at the crime scene, and they're all going to federal prison. Just like Carla Lopez working at the crime scene, you're going to federal prison for that. P.O.C.